Hi, my name's Asha, and I want to come and talk to you guys about my hair. so I don't run a hair page or a hair channel, but my hair is related to the work I do, which is like spiritual work, writing, self expression, self realization. And so I want to come and talk to you guys about it. So I have dreadlocks. I am what's considered a free former, which means that I don't style my hair. I don't make the locks a certain size or try to make them look a certain way. I simply just let my hair form the way it wants to form, and that's it. And the reason that I decided to take this approach with my hair was because I had a lot of not so great thoughts about my appearance and how I looked, and my hair is a big part of that. And my hair has, I've had like a love hate relationship with it. Like, I love my hair so much. But my hair also has like its own personality, like wants to do a certain thing. And that's not usually what like society wants my hair to be doing. And I got so frustrated with trying to make my hair look the way everyone else wanted it to look when about 5 years ago I shaved my head. It was just like on a whim. I was just like sick of it and I didn't feel like dealing with it anymore. And so I just shaved it all off. And I cried after I did that because that came from a place of like fear and exhaustion, and it really wasn't a like heartfelt decision. And so it's been about 5 years since then, and yeah, so my hair is in a shrunken state, you know, and so before I started locking it, like stretched, my hair comes about here, but you know, if you know anyone with afro kinky textured hair, you know that shrinks. So it doesn't look particularly long, but I don't really care. But I started this journey out of a place of self acceptance. And I realized that if I could accept how I looked and how my hair just would be on its own without me like really messing with it or telling it what to do, just being its truest crown self, then I would be making strides in my work towards accepting of myself completely and fully. Something to think about is like if you're, you know, doing inner work, you're doing a shadow work, you're eating healthy, you're being intuitive in all those respects, but you still feel the need to look a certain way or dress a certain way or style your hair a certain way out of fear, that that's a big one. That's a big one that a lot of people, that tends to be on the tail end of that, you know. So a lot of people are thinking about, well, like, do I need all this makeup? Do I need all these hairstylers and products? Do I need all these things to be on my path? And likelihood is no. So just something to think about. You might ask if you can touch my hair. The answer is no. No, no, no. What do you mean? No, no. That's the answer. You cannot touch it. Um, why? Because I said so. We're just going to leave it at that. My hair is very special to me. It's not just a hairstyle, it has symbolic and spiritual meaning for me. And I don't just want everyone's or anyone's energy in my crown. So that's why you can't touch it. Do I style my hair? No, not really. I mean, like, I'll change parts. Like, I might put a part in the middle, or I'll do like a part on this side or something. Like, I'll do that or something, but otherwise, or I can put my hair up. I have an undercut. If you can see, I have an undercut in my head. But You would never expect that I have an undercut because I have so much hair. Child, I have a lot of hair. Um, it's a blessing. I'm looking at it as a blessing. Um, but yeah, what do I do? I will like separate my locks at the root just to make sure that they don't start to grow into one. Like some of them are small and I'll just let them grow into other locks. And those are called congos when two locks grows into one. I guess that would probably be the best way to describe how they look. That's sort of like a congo. I have a few of those going on and I don't mind, but the for the ones that are already like of a big size, I just try and keep them from forming into other ones. And if like when I go to sleep and stuff and I wake up and my hair might be like a little like lopsided or matted, then I'll just go through and just like lay them a certain way so that they've got a shape that I feel like is nice and doesn't look like I literally just woke up. So yeah, that's all I do for styling, and I really style. Once my locks become more stable, then I'll definitely use like some lock jewelry or some like gemstones in my hair. But right now um, it's still in the baby lock phase. At this point, I feel like it's been probably around 4 months since I started freeforming. So they're still in the baby phase. I feel like people say like it takes around at least a year before you start having solid locks. And but I feel like I've got some solid locks. Like I feel like all my hair is in like defined sections right now. If you can see that. So yeah. Um I personally feel like my hair wants to be in locks. And the reason I feel that way is because whenever I would wear like a twist out or I would get like box braids or do like Senegalese twist or passion twist or almost any hairstyle, like my hair at the roots growing out would form into these little lock balls. Like after maybe like 3 weeks, which isn't even that long. And when I would go to take them out, it just all be tangled. And like yeah, even with twist outs, like if I left them in too long, then like they would start looking like this, like they would start tangling in with each other and forming its own little log. And I'd be like, no, I don't want that. But yeah, so I just when the thought came to me to like freeform my hair, I was like, oh, perfect, perfect. Like this will be perfect. And I like it. I like this. I like my hair like this. I my life's a lot easier. Not that I now that I don't have like a complicated hair routine. Speaking of which, my hair routine. So, um, I wash my hair when it needs to be washed. I identify it as needing to be washed if there's like somehow dirt or dust got in it. And speaking of which, I am out here camping and literally literally 10 minutes ago there is a dirt devil, like a cyclone of dust just like spinning over there. It looked like a little tornado. It was so cool, but I'm like, yeah, and like my car is covered in dust and my tent has a layer of dust in it. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely wash my hair soon because of all the dust. So like when there's actual like stuff in it that needs to come out, then I'll wash it. If my scalp is feeling itchy, I'll wash it. And yeah, that's really it. Like if there's like no stuff in my hair, my scalp feels clean and good, then for me there's no reason to wash my hair. And then sometimes I just want to feel water on my head and so I'll like wet my hair. But if I'm doing that, then I typically don't use like a shampoo because shampoos can be drying and I don't really want to dry my hair out a lot. I want to try and keep as much moisture in my hair as possible. As far as any other products I use, I really don't use products consistently. The only thing I might use will be some oil, like maybe some coconut oil, some olive oil to put on my hair while it's wet, so that it retains some moisture. But I've honestly done that maybe 3 times since I started my locks. So that's not something I want to do. I like That's not something I feel the need to do often. My hair actually is pretty soft. And I just don't want it to get any product buildup at all. So I'm just really selective about when I will put an oil in my hair or something like that. But otherwise, I don't do that. I have this little buddy here, and this lock is probably one of the lockiest locks on my head. And I have this lock because it was the last hairstyle that I had. I had in mini twists, and I wanted to remember that hairstyle because I love mini twists. Like, they're so great. And but I often experience locking while my hair is in mini twists, and I would have to like take them down and retwist them so that they didn't actually lock together. But like, this would be what my hair would have looked like if I had just sort of left it in that style. And if you can see that at all, yeah, there we go. It's like all locked up. Ignore my nails, they're full of dust right now. Yeah. So you can barely see the pattern of it being twisted. It was 2 strands. But I like this here. This lock's my buddy. And I keep this separate too. But yeah, this was my last hairstyle. And I can't, and I contemplated when I was gonna do my locks 4 months ago, like maybe I'll just lock it as mini twists. Like, I'll use this as the base. But that didn't feel right. Like, I knew I needed to freeform it. And the choice to do a head full of mini twists as starters would have been from an aesthetic choice instead of like a spiritual intuitive choice, because I wasn't led to do these. I was led to do this. So, and I knew that if I had done these, that I would have at some point wanted to do this. And so I would have done these for however long, and then either tried to comb them out or shave my head and start over and do this anyway. So I might as well have just done this. Like, I feel like I was being called to. So yeah, I worried that I would get like people saying things about my hair, or like I would end up looking crazy or something or whatever. I actually want to move my part back, I think, over here, if that's where it was. Or was it over there? No, maybe it was over here. I don't remember where it was. That'll do. It doesn't matter. Um, yeah, so I was afraid of all of the external things that people would say about my hair and how I looked. And that was a part of the reason why I was doing this, for self acceptance, and also just like, I don't want to have to worry about how I look or what people think about me. And the best way to not worry about that is to just do it, and then just breathe through it. To just like be me and just live that, and then just know that I can live how I want to live and look how I want to look and be how I want to be. And people can say what they want, and that's not going to change who I am. And that's generally been my experience. And I honestly haven't had anyone say anything bad about my hair at all. If anything, I get compliments. Like, I got one a couple of days ago, and I went into the grocery store, and it's like teenage white girl is like, oh my God, I love your hair so much. And I was like, oh, thank you. That's great. So I love compliments. And so, yeah, I've got nothing but positivity about my hair. I love it. It's different, and I like to be different. So, mhm. If you're considering locking your hair, no matter what texture your hair is, just do it. It is simply hair. We, as a culture, tie up a lot of stuff and stories and industry and significance behind what our hair looks like or supposed to do or supposed to be or what it means. And we can decide for ourselves what we want our hair to symbolize or to not symbolize. Just because you have, kinky textured hair doesn't mean that you know, have to put a relaxer in it or that you have to straighten it or blow dry it. Just because you have like blonde curly hair doesn't mean that you have to straighten it all the time or you have to get like a blowout. Just because you have, I don't know, bone straight black hair doesn't mean that, it has to be a certain length or you have to cut it a certain way or you can only style it in these ways. You can't experiment with other styles. What I say is just that whatever decision you make, have a reason behind it. Be intentional with what you're doing. And that way, if anyone ever says anything about your hair, your whole world isn't thrown into question about it. Like, you know your reasoning, you know your purpose, and you know why you do what you do. And when you know that and believe that, then there's nothing that anyone can say that can, that can shake you or waver you. So just remember that. And if you don't like it, you could always just shave your head and it'll grow back. I promise. I promise you it'll grow back. Trust me, I've been there. Something that I wish I had known before I started locking my hair was how easy it was going to be. It's really easy to freeform. It's so easy. It's so easy. And why can't that be easy? Like, I have all these other parts of my life that at times get really complicated and complex, and it's really nice to have an aspect of my life that's easy and simple and straightforward, and that doesn't take so much of my energy. The other thing I wish I knew before I started locking my hair freeform is that my locks will fit me. They'll be the perfect appearance for me. Like, my locks are cool and they're big and it looks like an afro and a mane and lioness. And that's what I wanted. And it's not that, and I think I wanted that because this is how I truly look. Like, this is my highest form of appearance. This is like my true self, my intuition, my soul manifests physically is my hair looking like this. And so I think that's why I was always drawn to women or men that had locks that looked fluffy and big, and mane like. It's because like that's what I look like. And so if I had known that my locks would have turned out how they should have without me trying, then I would have done them way sooner. But so many people, there's a big lock culture around maintained locks, like locks that are twisted or comb coiled or interlocked or even sister locks. And all those are gorgeous locks. They are, but they just never quite seemed like my route. Like, they're beautiful, but they never quite appealed to me. Especially the ones that look like where a lot of the scalp is showing. It's just like, that didn't appeal to me. And then the amount of maintenance you have to do, like going to salons all the time or constantly twisting them. And if you go too long without twisting them, then the size could get messed up or they, won't look the same. It just was like too much to worry about. Like, already have enough. I already had enough to worry about with my hair before I started my locks. And then to just go to another style that required the same amount of work, if not more, that I had to like relearn all over again, it just didn't make sense to me, nor did it make sense with the lifestyle that I lead, which is as simple as possible. So, yes, if you're considering locking your hair, freeform, just trust and know that however your hair turns out will be how your hair is meant to be, and it will be the perfect style for you. I know that requires requires some faith, but I mean, the feeling that I'm getting is just like, if we can't have trust in ourselves and in our body to do what it needs to do in a very in the way that it's meant to and in a very perfect way, then that's something to look at. That's something to dig deeper into. Like, why do I distrust my body? Why do I feel the need to, um, shape or mold my body and appearance to look a certain way? What's wrong with it just existing and being and functioning how it's naturally meant to? Those are all some questions you might want to consider and sort of mull over, maybe journal about, meditate on. Those were questions that I had before I locked my hair. So everyone's path with this is going to be different. Some people might never freeform their hair, and that's fine. It's not meant for everyone. It isn't. But if you struggle with self image issues and appearance issues, this is a wonderful practice in meditation daily, hourly, minutely on radically accepting how you look and your appearance in a way that's different than everyone else. So I believe in you. And if this is something that you want to do and you want to talk more about with me, I'm more than happy to talk to any of you about this and going on this journey, embarking on this process, and any fear, shame that might be coming up around it. So it'd be my pleasure to do that because I'm living it right now. So, yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. And yeah, I don't know if I'm going to make any other videos about my hair. Maybe once it starts looking different, but this is it. So I love y'all. Have a great day and peace.